Hey guys, what's going on? Today, I'm going to be doing my own tier list of all the brawlers in Brawl Stars. So, Evan did his a while back, and I disagreed with a couple. He disagrees with a lot of these, but it's a personal preference. Anyway, we're going to start off with Shelly, who's going immediately in S tier. Shelly's damage plus super hyper are just unmatched, especially in solo showdown. I find her to be very, very good. Nita, I'm going to put an A. She's very good as well. Her hyper bear has a ton of HP with her hyper bear star power, as well as her really good gadgets, but she's not got the greatest range, so a little harder to play, but still a very good brawler overall. Now, Bull, I'm going to put in B tier. Slightly worse than Shelly with her super and hyper not being as good, but still a good brawler in most maps. In solo showdown, just not as versatile as Shelly. Colt, we're also going to put in S tier. He's a very hard to play, but very good brawler in the game. Very strong, high skill. I don't know what else to say. Next, we got Brock. I'm putting Brock in C tier. Now, this one's kind of controversial. I don't find Brock to be that useful in most maps. And even in the maps that he is useful, it's usually either in ranked or there was a better pick for him. So, I just don't find him as useful as some of the others on this list. Now, next we're going to go with El Primo. Now, I got to think about this one carefully. Because El Primo, he's not that great of a brawler. His damage is kind of bad, yet he can do some really good plays. I'm going to put him in B tier. He could be better, but I think he's fine for like a starter brawler. So you got Barley. I'm going to put him in B as well. He's got good damage, good stats, just low HP and kind of hard to get used to. Then we got Poco. We're going to put him in S. Don't need any explanation. Rosa was my first main, and this was back when she was really, really good. And for that reason, I'm going to put her in A. Now we got Jessie. She's going in S. Her turret's absolutely OP. And although she does need a nerf, please don't nerf her. She's good. Also going to put Dyna in S for the same reason. His hyper's super good. And he can play some insane plays. Tick's going to go in C tier next to Brock. Brock and Tick kind of have that same thing where, yeah, they're both good if you know how to play them, but in most maps, there was a better brawler for them. 8-Bit, C tier. I don't see anybody in ranked playing 8-Bit at all. Rico, we're going to put in S. His damage output with his hyper is just unmatched. He's got a ton of great skins. He's just the best here. Next, we got Daryl. I'm going to save my opinion on Daryl for later. Penny's going to go in C. She's not that good. Actually, I'm going to put her up to B. Her turret's really good, but pretty hard to get if you don't know how to play her well. Then we got Carl. First F tier. I hate Carl. Carls are either easy marks or just absolute god modes, and there's no in between. Jackie, I'm going to put her in A. She's got some pretty good damage. If there are good counters, and there's a lot of them, but if you don't play a counter, you're going to get rocked. So it kind of has that important balance to her that I really like. Next, we got Gus. Gus. Really good in meta right now. Was the most picked in World Finals. I don't know. Although in my opinion, his stats aren't that great. I'll put him in A just because he was the most picked in 2024 World Finals. Next, let's go to Daryl. I'll put Daryl at B with Penny. He's good on a lot of maps, but once again, I just find his hyper not that good. His gadgets aren't that great either. His damage output is alright, but I feel like there are just better brawlers sometimes. Bo. This is pre-hyper bow. So for what he is at the moment, I'm going to put him at B. But when he gets his hyper, I'm sure he'll be S. Ems, I'm going to give Ems A. I really like Ems. Her gadgets are really good at countering the brawlers that she would be bad against. She's got decent damage with a pretty good hyper. All around, pretty balanced. Stu. F, but not for the same reason as Carl. I hate stews, bro. They are always the most cracked thing to ever exist. Like, you fight a stew, you know you're either cooked or the enemy is. Like, and there's no in between. Piper, A. She's pretty good. Actually, no. I'll put her at S. She's pretty good. She's got a great hyper, great abilities, great gadgets, great star powers. She's all around good. Pam, we're going to put at C. She's just not that great. Frank, we're going to put at S. He's really, really good. BB, I'm just going to start rapid firing after BB. We'll go, I guess, A. She's really good, but, like, not OP, because you can, like, pretty easily mess her up. All right, now for the rapid fire. We're going to go Bia, C. Nanny, S. Come in. It's being a little bit of a troublemaker. Edgar, S. Griff, B. Grom, C. Bonnie, F. And finally, for the rapid fire, we'll put Lola at F as well. Okay, so now we'll put him, Gale. He's good, but not cracked, I would say. I should retract that statement. Now, I just gotta think, like, for every time I fought a Gale, or played Gale, or been on a team with Gale, they've ever been really good or really bad. I'll put them at C, actually. All right, Colette, easy S. No debating there. Also going to put in Belle at B. Ash at C. Sam at F. And Mandy at S. I feel like a couple of these are pretty explanatory. I don't really need to explain them. Larry Lara is going in S. Hank's going in C. Oop. What is happening? Along with Maisie there. Pearl, I'm going to give B. She's actually pretty good at countering some of the longer range brawlers. Mortis, we're going to put at S. He's really good. His damage with his Hyper Super is unparalleled. And he's just a pretty good brawler over around. We're going to give Angelo a B. His Hyper Super is not that great. I mean, it is a very needed increase to his Super, but it's still not that good. And I feel like his damage isn't that great. Barry, we're going to put at A. His healing's really good, but it could be slightly more. With the Star Force Barry skin glitch, it was pretty good, but it just didn't feel the same. Max, we're going to also give to S, along with Shade. These two are very fast, and all have good counters, but can counter those good counters. Because they all have something to defend themselves against said counters. Next, we're going to put Tara at A. Besides that one bounty map where it's all bush, she's not the best brawler, but she is still really good, especially with her hyper. Now, we're about halfway through, and we're hitting the mythics, and I gotta take a quick moment to tell you all to subscribe, Just subscribe to the channel. It'll really help us out. We're doing pretty well on subscribers, but every subscriber helps us along. Now, next, we're going to put Gene. Now, his hyper's pretty bad, but he's a good brawler. I'll put Gene at B2. I feel like if they swapped Belle and Gene's hypers, like made Belle's do the triple and Gene's tracking, they'd be a lot better because I don't really know how to explain it, but it'd just be a much needed switch. Squeak is going in A tier. He's really good, and especially with his hyper, but he's not really the best in most maps. Although he is really fun to play and really goofy. I like him a lot. Mr. P, we're going to put in B tier. His hyper could be a little better, but he's still a decent brawler. Sprout, he really needs a hyper rework. It's super bad. I don't know what they could do to fix it, but it definitely needs some fixes. His attack's pretty good, but once again, it requires this level of skill that I don't think most people would have when they unlock him. Brian, he's also going to go in S tier. He's pretty good. I haven't grinded him up yet because I'm not the best at playing him, but I know he is really good. Lou, we're going to put at A. If you can play Lou well, then he is a good brawler. Other than that, I don't feel like he'd be that great. Ruffs, he needs a really big rework. He sucks. Now we're going to jump. Fang and Buzz, we're both putting in S. They are unparalleled. They all have something that makes them really, really OP in their own ways. Eve, with her hyper, I'd say is a B tier brawler. She's not like crazy OP, but she's not like dog water. With that said, Janet. Now, the thing about Janet is she's not the best brawler, but she's not like F tier worthy. So I guess I'll give her C tier. I don't know. I just feel like she doesn't deserve it. Yeah, I'll put it at C. Next, we got Otis, who's going in A. He's really, really OP. Buster, we're going to put at B. He's not the best, as long as Gray with A. I feel like all of those make pretty good sense. They're not all, like, crazy hot opinions or anything like that. RT, with his rework to his head, I'd put him at A. Previously, I would have put him, like, at C. He wasn't the best. Willow, I gotta not put my own bias in here because I really like Willow. Like, I like her idea. She's pretty cool. Guess I'll put her at B. I just can't justify the people who play her and putting her at A. Doug, we gotta put at C. He's a decent pick for cheeses, but other than that, he's not the best, in my opinion. Chuck, we're gonna put at A. He's really, really good, but there are... Never mind. I'm going to put him at S. He's stupid OP and heist. Charlie, for the cheeses, she's good. Otherwise, she's not great. Miko. Where do I place Miko? Let's put Miko at C. He's not great. Melanie, we're also going to put at S. She's hyper, is unparalleled, like most others on this list. Lily, we're going to slot at A. Her gadget is crazy. Now, Clancy. When Clancy came out, he was a god. But now, I'd say he's more like B, C. Now, for Juju, we're going to put her at A. She is cracked. Her pet is just stupid OP, and she really needs a nerf. Now, going into the legendaries. Before we do this, once again, I just gotta say, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Really helps out the channel. Now, before we get into the legendaries, let's grade these 5. the newer additions, if you will. Mo, we're going to put at A. He is really good, but he does have a few counters, and most of the people that play him I find aren't the greatest. And I also don't see a lot of people playing him in general anymore, even though he is a good brawler. Meeple. Yeah, let's put him at B. He's not the greatest. Ollie. Where do I place Ollie? Guess I'll put him at C. He's not great. Buzz Lightyear, I gotta put him at C as well, just because he's too OP. And now for the legendaries. We'll start with Spike. Now, Spike is a really, really good brawler. I see a lot of people play him, and a lot of people really like that. His gadgets are good. Both of them have very distinct but good purposes. And I would say that people who play him are good players. Crow. I was about to put Crow at S because of his hyper. But I think because of his hyper, I'm going to have to put him at B or maybe even C. No, he doesn't deserve that. I'm going to put him at A just because his hyper is too OP. Maybe, nerf his damage a little bit with his hyper. I think that would probably make him a little more fair, but other than that, I feel like that's a pretty good placement. We're also going to put Leon in S. His hyper super is really good for making plays. It's really deserved for him to be up here. I don't see anybody else being at the same potency that Leon is, even nowadays. Sandy, I'm also going to put at A. Most Sandys, I would say, are pretty good, but there are some who definitely aren't. But Sandy's an all-around good brawler. Amber, I'm going to put at B. She's not the best for a legendary, but she is a legendary. Her stats aren't horrible by any means. She's just not great. Meg, we're going to put at C. That's going to make a lot of people mad, but she's too win tradey, because nobody's going to be able to take her down if they try to rebel. She's going to kill you. Surge, I'm going to put at B with Amber. What am I saying? No, I'm putting Surge at S. What am I saying? I got word garble. I'm putting Surge at S. He's really good. But there are a couple counters that if you could pull off, make him not that great. I was thinking of Chester. Without his hyper, he's not that great right now. But when his hyper comes out, I'm sure he'll be good. Cordelius, I'll put at A. He's good, but once again has counters and just general good people that you can play him against. Kit's going right down in C with Meg. I'm sure you can understand why. Draco. I like Draco. He's a good, fun brawler. He's just not that great anymore, which is kind of sad. But I'll put him in B with Chester and Amber. And finally, Kenji. Ooh, boy. I'm going to put him at S. He's a pretty good brawler. And with his nerfs, he's a little bit more fair. Before his nerfs, I would have probably put him more at C or maybe even F just because of how unfair he was. But now he's a little more fair. So, my tier list goes. In F tier, we have Carl, Stu, Bonnie, Lola, Sam, and Ruffs. You 6 deserve this tier. Now, in C tier, we have Kit, Meg, Buzz Lightyear, Miko, Doug, Ollie, got my brain, the Sony Brawlers, Janet, just look, man, Sprout, Ash, Grom, Mandy, Fish Boy, Hank, that's what I was thinking of, Bia, Pam, 8-Bit, Gale, Tick, Brock. Oh, gosh. Dude, there's so many brawlers. It hurts my head. I can't think of them all. Okay. Draco, Chester, Amber, Meeple, Clancy, Charlie, Willow, Buster, Eve, Mr. P, Jean, Angelo, Pearl, Belle, Griff, Bo, Daryl, Barley, Penny, El Primo, and Bull in B tier. Now in A tier, we have Cordelius, Sandy, Crow and Mo, that rhymes, Juju, Lily, RT, Gray, Otis, no, not Mr. P, Squeak, Snowcone, Lou, that's who I was thinking, Lou, Tara, Barry, BB, Ems, Gus, Jackie, Rosa, and Nita. They are all in A. And finally, for S, we have Kenji, Serge, Leon, Spike, Melody, Chuck, Buzz, Fang, Brian, Shade, Max, Mortis, Larry Laurai, Mandy, Colette, Edgar, Frank, Nani, Piper, Rico, Poco, Dynamite, Jesse, Colt, and finally Shelly are all in S. That hurt, but that's my ranking. Alright, make sure to subscribe.